One of the many problems plaguing the comic book industry is their over-reliance on big events to garner publicity. From a major storyline such as Spider-Verse, being replicated at least 2 times after the original, to introducing new characters with very obvious gimmicks, to killing off characters just to bring them back 2 months after, all for the headline. So there's kind of been like a stealth drama going on in like the comic book Marvel community recently about who specifically asked for Ms. Marvel to be killed off in the comics and then brought back. So first, I don't know who exactly accused Kevin Feige of ordering the death and resurrection of Ms. Marvel, but he was accused of being the one who wanted that to happen. And now it seems like he might have actually been the person who ordered her death and resurrection, even though like he's been denied. So it's a little strange. The fact that Kevin Feige allegedly ordered her death isn't necessarily the problem. The biggest problem is that this decision was made in the first place. This decision was probably one of the worst decisions in modern day that Marvel has done. We've got the Spider-Verse, that's one of them. We got all the gay stuff they've been trying to do, but that's more of DC with the whole DC Pride stuff. But still that, and all the race changes in the MCU stuff. But this whole Ms. Marvel being a mutant thing is probably one of the worst decisions they've ever made in their career, at least in the modern day. Because in the MCU, they revealed Kamala was a mutant, which is already just like retarded because she's supposed to be an Inhuman. I don't understand like why you're changing that. That makes no sense. There's no benefit to changing her origin. Also, her powers were completely different, so it's basically a completely different character at this point. But now that, I guess, like after she was revealed to be a mutant in the MCU, her comic counterpart was killed. Now, I don't really know who killed her, but I do know it was in a Spider-Man book, which was pretty interesting. But then, a few months later, just a few months later, she was brought back to life, but as a mutant. So there's obviously something going on with the MCU connecting to the comics, which kind of backs up the idea that Kevin Feige was actually the one who decided that this was a good decision. But again, that doesn't really matter who specifically was the decider for this decision. It's just the fact that it was made in the first place. Like, Marvel and DC have this culture of killing characters and bring them back, like, almost instantaneously, which is just so retarded. Because, like, when you kill off characters, it's, like, a big, impactful moment. But then when you bring them back, like, not even, like that long after they died, it kind of, like, lessens the effect of that actual death. It kind of just makes comics just feel like it's so much going on, but so little of it actually matters. Which is a big problem, because you want, as like a company, you want people to care about your books. But when you're constantly having these like big events of characters dying, it kind of lessens the effect of those deaths, which in turn makes the comics less interesting. So I don't understand how they don't know this. Like, I'm literally like retarded. Storm's right there, I can't move. Help me. There's a guy right here, help me. Help. Like, I don't know how they don't know this themselves. It's just kind of crazy. I don't know why they felt like this decision was a good decision, even though the reason, like, it doesn't take like a genius to understand that killing off characters so much and so often is going to lessen the effect of later deaths and make the comics less interesting. So I don't really know how they don't know this, or I guess they just don't care. They feel like just killing them off will have so much of like a impact on the reader that they'll just forget about, and ignore the fact that they were brought back like so soon after. But I just don't understand. And also, okay, we're moving on from this topic. Not this topic, but we're gonna talk about a different section of this. She was brought back as a mutant. Why? I don't understand why she was brought back as a mutant. Like, in the MCU, she was changed to a mutant, which, is bad. It's a bad decision. But why did they decide to do this in the comics? I just don't understand. Like, I guess for just like the headline, oh, Ms. Marvel is a mutant now. Like, the excitement or, like, interest that comes from a headline dies down so quickly that I'm just not really sure, like, if they even, like, thought twice about this decision. Because, like, this makes no sense. It actually makes no sense. Like, just why? You kill her. Alright. But then you bring her back. Okay. But then you bring her back as a mutant? I don't know, man. I don't I don't know. I don't even know how that happened. Like, how did she die and then become a mutant? That just makes no sense. I haven't read this comic. Probably will never will. But, yeah, this whole Miss Marvel's a mutant now. That's not a great decision. Not a great decision, I'll tell you that. Not the best decision Marvel has ever made. Again, I don't care whether Kevin Feige was the person who decided that this was a good decision, or like, I don't really care that Kevin Feige, or even if he was, I wouldn't care who specifically was in charge of this decision. I don't really care. But the fact that it was even made in the first place is just the main issue. Like, this is just like a very, very not good decision. So it's kind of impresses me how these people that work at Marvel and DC are just like retarded, basically. That's basically what they are. They're retarded. We're gay and retarded. You've been watching Lowhand. I've been Lowhand. And we're all the same numb.